Okay, this is Chris Cippinelli here at the Manufacturing Leadership Summit in Palm Beach with Anthony King of Raytheon. Glad to have you here, Anthony.
Glad to be here again.
And we just got out of our Manufacturing Leadership Council meeting for the year. A lot of great conversation here, and one of the points that you made was very interesting to me. You talked a little bit about, well, the general topic was managing complexity. And you talked about, instead of managing it, actually trying to control it. Can you talk a little bit more about what that means?
Yeah, actually our focus is actually on reducing complexity.
Okay.
And I know it sounds like it should be standard practice for everyone, but it's usually not. It's about bringing in new technologies and things, adding complexity to it. But one of the questions we ask on anything that we do, whether it be a process, technology, or service, is how is it going to reduce the existing complexity? And if you're not going to reduce any complexity, then we sort of question why are we actually bringing it in.
Okay.
So that's one of our biggest hurdles to bringing anything into the company, is understanding how we're going to actually reduce the complexity, not just add to it.
Right, and you mentioned that this is actually a board level concern. It's discussed at the board level in your company. I mean, what form does it take? Because it can be so complex, obviously.
In our company, it takes the form of each of the businesses are given a driver to actually reduce the complexity of the business and report back on areas they've actually reduced complexity. So each business has to report a number of things they've done to reduce the complexity within the business, and it has to be quantitative. So they actually have to show where the complexity actually was removed from the business, and we have a quota for each of the business each year that we have to actually meet.
That's interesting. And then if you speak, specifically about that, we're talking about complexity of technology, processes,
products? We talk about complexity all across the board. Applications, one area that's really huge, because we have a lot of applications in and add complexity. Technology, where we can bring in. And then also look at some of our processes and procedures we have. We have processes and procedures that have been layered to the extent they start to add to complexity instead of actually minimizing it or helping it. So we look at all three of those major areas actually reduce complexity.
Okay. And the line of business managers are actually incentivized to report on this and to improve this.
Absolutely. Each one of the heads of each one of the business units at the vice president level has a goal each year to reduce complexity. And that's then to flow down to the rest of the organization.
Interesting. Very good.